Jordan Machula here at Sutton Group, patiently awaiting for things to get back to some level of normalcy. Couldn't be more eager to get this wig trimmed next week, but super excited to be covering today's topic, in which I'll be sharing with you my 5 steps how to save you thousands of dollars on your real estate transactions, including how to not get caught up in a bidding war. But before we get started, I want to share with you a quick story of how I personally got caught up in a bidding war and overpaid around $25,000 for my own home. So 7 years ago around this time, I decided with my twin brother that we were going to go halfers on a pad. We were fortunate enough to get pre-approved by my credit union and started the home search immediately. Even though we both had some experience in property management, we were still both very unfamiliar with Winnipeg's real estate market. After going to a few houses, we figured that what size of home we wanted, and we narrowed down on our area of choice to North Kildonan, where we grew up, and started looking online in the Winnipeg Real Estate News magazine for home listings. A couple weeks went by and we saw a home in our area and in our price range, so we went to the open house on the weekend and viewed the property. It was a 1980s build in near original condition, so very outdated to say the least. The home was listed at $299,000 on an offer date, and after viewing the home, I decided to talk to my uncle, who's bought over 100 properties, to put me in contact with a real estate agent. So I did. The agent was very seasoned, and he had advertisement on various park benches and buildings, so we felt confident that he was right for us. The agent contacted me the day of the offer date, asked if we wanted to put in an offer, which we did. However, I felt a little bit uneasy as he had never actually viewed the property himself. After discussing with my brother, we figured that, well, he was the agent and he would have our best interest. So we decided to go ahead with putting in an offer. So he filled out all the paperwork, then mentioned that there was already an offer on the table, and if we wanted the property, we would have to go above list price. We reassured him that $300,000 was our cap and that we were in no rush. In which he replied, "Properties seldomly come up in this area at this price point, so you'll be looking for a long time." I asked him then at that point, what should we write, which price, assuming that he had been in talks with the other agent. He then replied, $316,000 will take it. We reminded him again that the price was over our budget, in which he replied, "Amortized over 25 years, you won't even notice it on your mortgage payments." So us leaning on every word he said like it was out of the Bible, we wrote it up for that price, and subsequently we purchased the house. Less than a year after, the neighbor's home was listed and sold on an offer date for $280,000. Now, adjusting about $10,000 for lot size because my lot was bigger, this puts us at about $26,000 overpaid. Since then, I've personally purchased over 10 properties and have had great success on all of them, and I'm going to share with all of you which steps I take so that none of you will make the same mistake that I once made. So step 1 is patience. Patience is always key. Wait till you see a good deal or a home that fits all or most of your criteria. This also includes combating what I call buyer's fever. This is a very exciting time for most. You're buying your first home or possibly a second, and it's very easy to get caught up in a bidding war. You must try to leave emotions behind. A prudent realtor will help you with this and will help you with the offer date process. Step 2 is have a plan. There's a lot that goes into buying a home. You need to get pre-approved for your mortgage broker, a mortgage specialist. You need to figure out where you want to live. You need to figure out what type of property you want to live in terms of square footage and size. Also, you should have a future plan for the home. This means having an approximate time frame if you would like to upgrade or downsize. I often stand behind what I call the 5-year plan, which in a nutshell is essentially creating a rental plan that you can chip away at over 5 years or longer. So when it comes time to move on to sell the home, you can do it without any penalties or without paying any type of capital gains taxes. This is something I always recommend, and I'm happy to help create a plan as well. I'll be touching on this a little bit more in an upcoming video. Step 3 is familiarize yourself with the real estate market. Just by looking at home listings, it will give you the opportunity to see what homes are going for in your area of choice and what you can land for your approximate budget. So for example, if your budget is $200,000 and your preferred area is, let's say, South St. Vital, you may have to save up a little more coin if you're hoping to get a respectable home in that particular neighborhood. And for any of you looking to get listings emailed to you, don't hesitate at all to contact me at any time. There's no obligation and it's virtually effortless. I have an app that I use that will allow you to receive the newest listings the second they hit the Winnipeg market, which will allow you to get a great idea of what is out there. So step number 4 is view some homes. I almost always recommend that you don't buy the first home that you view, unless it's on a smoking deal or it meets all the criteria that you have. Viewing homes will allow you to see everything that the listing agent chooses not to showcase in their listing photos. So all the finishing work, the home layout, levelness of the floors, basement, are important aspects, just to name a few. And finally, number 5 is use a real estate agent that understands market value. First off, always use a different realtor than the one who's listing the property. The one listing the property does not have your best interest because they're already fully committed to getting their client the best price, which is not you. It costs you nothing and they get paid from the sellers. Also, find a realtor that is right for you. You're going to want a specialist that you can trust. If you're looking for commercial or agricultural, I'm probably not your guy for that. But I do excel in market evaluations based on 2 methods that I use, which are comparative market evaluations, where I take the homes in the area and compare their sold prices. I also use the cost approach method, which is essentially how much would it take to rebuild the home new. I am very experienced in both of these, and I've renovated and contracted 10 property flips where I've taken the most neglected homes, they're usually 100 years old, and transformed them into something beautiful. I've got tons of experience in foundations as well as everything in between. I also work with Ventura Custom Homes, which allows me to quote for brand new work. By using both of these methods, this allows me to appraise residential homes so I can ensure you that you will never overpay for your property. And if you are wanting to put an offer in on a property where multiple offers are present, I can guide you so that you do not overpay, and if it does arise where you're willing to pay top dollar, I'll at least let you know that. I see so many homeowners try and sell a home they overpaid for 5 years later, hoping to get what they first purchased it for. Don't make the same mistake I made. $25,000 may only come out as a few dollars per month off your monthly mortgage payment, providing that it is amortized over 25 years. But the truth is that 90% of homeowners don't hold their home for that time period. So if you are going to sell your home before then, it'll be quite apparent that your investment was not a good one. I don't only want to find you a home, but I want you to feel that your largest investment is made wisely and calculated with a licensed professional. I'm Jordan Machula, and I want to be your realtor. Thanks guys for tuning in. If you know anybody looking for a home, please send them the link to my video. Again, I appreciate your time. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Stay safe, Winnipeg.